We have a Patreon page with exclusive videos and a website with cool services, such as being typed by us and typology themed merch. The links are in the description below. Also, we have many regular INTJ viewers. We would also love you guys to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I mean, only if you guys think we are worthy, of course. Is it going to be worth it? There's a Bobby Fischer documentary that I've watched many times in which one of the people says, to become a master in an art like chess, you sacrifice. The question is, what is it that you sacrifice? The next question, of course, is it worth it? For INTJs, this thought resides and lurks in the back of their mind and occasionally pushes its way to the front. But why would they be plagued by the question of, is it going to be worth it? The reason is that INTJs are almost constantly future focused, and by definition that means they're not going to be present focused. They're not in the moment. All of their actions are building towards this future payoff. In a sense, they care more about their future selves than their present selves. They can be committed, determined, driven, willing to forego comfort now to achieve something down the line. But every now and then, those terrible, nagging thoughts return. Is this the right thing to be working on? Is this the right career to commit to? Is this the right path? And even if it is it going to be worth it? Other types live for the here and now and embrace life in real time. They don't really have to ask themselves these questions often. INTJs, however, dance this quite risky and dangerous line of putting intense energy and focus into whatever it is they're working on or trying to achieve, making that big upfront investment of resources with really no guarantee that the thing will work out. I'm always wary of painting an imbalanced picture of a type. The best way to use these archetypes currently is as generalized descriptions. However, in both my theoretical understanding of INTJs and my anecdotal experience, they are indeed very intense and very focused in whatever they're doing. Their introverted intuition can have this narrowing down or tunnel vision effect. The beauty of this and the brilliance of it is that they can coordinate their activities to reach a specific goal. One of the drawbacks is that it's very committal. It's all in. That is so often why they succeed, but is also the reason for those occasional moments of intense self-doubt and fears about whether it will even be worth it if they make it or succeed. Chaos. I would like to see anyone, prophet, king, or god, convince 1,000 cats to do the same thing at the same time. Neil Gaiman. Being planners and goal-orientated creates a conflict because life is fundamentally chaotic and tumultuous. People are unpredictable and irrational. To achieve any goal of substance or worth means contending with these external forces, wrestling against them and resisting them. INTJs need firm footing to build from. They need their layers and their perfectly crafted workspaces. They need their systems and structures. They need their efficient and effective methods. They like to control their immediate environment so it doesn't impose upon them or force them to act in some way. Although they can actually function in fast-paced environments, their preference is almost always to inhabit quiet spaces where they can focus without interruptions. Some people and some types welcome chaos because they can operate very well in real time. INTJs are builders, whether that be of real-world or abstract systems, who need space and time to craft and work on things. They are, in a nutshell, control freaks. But they kind of have to be. The imbalance that comes from their top function of introverted intuition and their bottom function of extroverted sensing can be conceptualized as a battle between control and chaos. I think I've said in a previous video on INTJs or possibly INFJs that it is in many ways one of the most difficult ways to live. You're constantly trying to take what's in your head and bring it into or reconcile it with reality. As was confirmed to me by an INTJ recently I spoke to, INTJs are intentional and directional. They rarely act without a reason to. Their actions are often preceded by plans or desired outcomes. They're not people that flow through the world and roll with the punches. They're people in a constant conflict and fight with the world, trying to wrestle enough control to get to where they want to be and achieve the things they want to do. I don't think that INTJs feel the need to exercise control over other people for its own sake. It's more out of some kind of necessity. Maybe the person's not doing the job right, or is just being incompetent. There is one potentially hypocritical trait I've noticed with INTJs, and that is that politically they very much dislike governmental control over them. Yet you always get the sense that they'd become dictators very fast if they were in power. Being alone. Every deep thinker is more afraid of being understood than of being misunderstood. Okay, I know, who isn't afraid of being alone? But INTJs are stereotypically misanthropic and can even revel in or play up this trait sometimes. And despite their disinterest in playing the social game, often I do think that they fear being unable to find kindred spirits, people that they can connect to philosophically, intellectually, on some kind of deeper level. Anyone who's been in a situation where they don't have access to like-minded individuals will tell you that feeling alone is something that can still happen even when surrounded by people. Amount of socializing and depth of connection with people are definitely not the same thing, especially for introverts. There is definitely a tendency for INTJs to become reclusive sometimes. INTJs, I know, have this kind of hidden gem quality to them. They are these intriguing and often impressive people that are just secluded away from the world. My advice for INTJs is be your usual pragmatic selves and make these fears work for you. For INTJs, it's often good to have layered relationships where your friends are also people you work with in some way or collaborate with in some way. The reason is that INTJs often like to be doing something. They don't like to be idle or waste their time. They're also not fans of, what's the word? Fun. So combining work and play with a strong emphasis on work is often a good move for INTJ friendships. I think INTJs of all the types will appreciate my shameless capitalism. So if you want to pay us and get something in return, feel free to visit our Patreon or our website, both of which are linked below. Also, if we see that lots of people have subscribed because of this video, that's further incentive for us to keep making INTJ videos more often.